I'm Gwen and welcome to Power Yoga for Sports and Pose of the Month. Today we're going to work on Hero's Pose. So there's a lot of variations, a lot of options for Hero's Pose. What we're opening is the Achilles tendon, the top of the foot, the quads, and some hips. You might need some help, you might need some props. A blanket, a block, all of this will help. Okay, depending on your level of flexibility. What I've noticed is this is a really tight, difficult pose for a lot of my athletes. So take your time. With a lot of commitment and dedication, you'll open up no problem here. You want to keep a nice deep flexion in your knee, especially for people like soccer, people on the offensive line, anybody that needs that deep knee flexion. You want to make sure that you're safe. If you fall on the field of play and someone lands on you, if you're used to going into deep flexion, no problem. You're going to get up and walk away. You might have a minor sprain. In other terms, if you're really tight and you can't get deep knee flexion, you can't get your heel to your hips, you end up falling on the field of play, someone lands on you, you can blow out disastrous right through your knee. So, in my opinion, very important to open up the whole knee joint. It's a natural movement of the joint, so let's give it a try. Coming onto your hands and knees, you could start with your knees, hips width apart. In time, you're going to bring them a little bit closer. What I don't want you to ever feel is stabbing, knifing pain that you need to run away from. That's not good. You should feel this sort of itchy, deep stretch. You should be able to breathe and feel a stretch. Only you know what you feel, so you have to make proper judgments whether to hold it, make variations, or get out. All right? So onto the hands and knees. Toes are untucked, so we're stretching the top of the foot as well. And level 1, you can take your towel or your blanket and put it behind the knees and then sit back. You may even need some support still. That's fine. Time and practice will open up that knee joint. Okay, like I said, this is a natural movement. You're not doing anything unnatural to the body by being able to sit on the heels. It's something we've done since babyhood, correct? And then as we got older and tighter and rigid and stiff, we can't do it anymore. So, level 1. Level 2, you're going to separate the feet a little bit. Biggest mistake is people bring the feet out to the side. Even if you are a hockey goalie, I understand that that's your positioning on the ice, but it's not in yoga. What you want to do to protect the knee is have the bottoms of the feet facing up to the sky. And you're going to take a block. You could have it this height, you could have it this height, you could even have it this height. And you're going to sit back on the block. Okay, nice tall back. Maybe you have to start leaning forward until you can sit firmly on the block, both hips, bottoms of the feet facing up. 1 to 3 minutes. Hold it there. Ultimately, you are trying to sit completely between the feet. Okay? Again, you could start leaning forward a little bit, but in time, with practice, you will sit completely on the ground. All right? And then you could play with the knees. Listen to your knees. Listen to your body, and you will get it open to its maximum capacity quicker. Thanks for joining me. Hi, I'm Gwen and welcome to Power Yoga for Sports, Pose of the Month. Today we're going to do upward facing dog. Always talking about downward dog. Not too much is ever really discussed about up dog. It's kind of glazed over in a lot of classes. And I see a lot of mistakes doing this pose. So I want to give you a few tips to make sure you're doing it properly and as safe as you possibly can. So come to your mat, onto your stomach. Okay, I want you to lift your left leg up, extend it out long, toes are untucked. Right leg up, extend it out long, and your hands are flat right alongside your chest, approximately right under your shoulder. This can be adjusted once you're in the pose. There's a couple ways to get into this pose. But what you're going to do is make sure your hand is flat on the floor. That means all 5 fingers, not here. Your elbows are as wide as your shoulders, and what you're focusing on is bringing those shoulder blades back and opening the heart to the front of your mat. Okay, so extend out, bring your shoulders back, lengthen your neck, push into your hands, straighten your arms, okay? So you could be like this, not up dog. I want you to push into the floor with the tops of your feet, with your hands. Press your chest forward, shoulders back, and energize the pose. Top of the head to the ceiling. What I see a lot is knees down. The only thing touching the ground in up dog is your hands and the tops of your feet. You want to feel the tops of all 10 toenails on the floor. The other thing I see is people's resistance because it's a lot of strain in the low back. That is probably because your hands are not in the proper place. If your hands are too far forward, your wrist joint is not directly under your shoulder, it will put tremendous strain in the low back, I guarantee you. So it looks more like this. And that kills for me to even show you. So you want to bring your wrists right under your shoulders, not too far back, too much strain on the wrist, too far forward, too much strain on the back, just right. Push, open, a few deep breaths. You don't have to stay here for 1 to 3 minutes, but when you do come across up dog, just remember those things. Up dog is great to open up the whole front of your spine. So a lot of times, it's a gentle back bend. So a lot of times in life, now in this day and age, we're very forward on the computer, we drive everywhere, take care of little kids, running forward, nothing's opening the anterior spine, the front of the spine. So it's really important to do back bends. And a lot of people are very scared about legitimate back bend. So do an up dog. Same thing, same result. Opens up thyroid, neck, opens up your heart, opens up your rib cage, your lungs, for greater lung capacity on the field, strengthens the arms, opens the wrists so that in your field of play, if you end up falling on the field, onto one hand, if your wrist can be open enough to support your body, you're not going to blow out the wrist. Maybe you'll get a little bit of a sprain, but you're going to heal a lot quicker. If you're really tight and you land, we all know, wrists blow out, fingers break, even elbows become destroyed. And that's that. So enjoy, remember all my rules to down dog, and I'll see you next time.